Welcome everyone to The Chatter Platter, a show where I, along with guests, talk about random events in our lives to the point where you may question what's wrong with us. I'm your host, Carelle, a senior in high school who isn't ready to become an adult. And though we don't have anyone with me on today's platter, the menu of this episode is starting a new podcast. And whether I stay on topic or stray away, it'll be quite the feast, that's for sure. And without further ado, let's dig in. Hello again, listeners. My name is Carelle, but I also go by Carl. And I'm very excited to tell you all that this is going to be my very first podcast, with this being my pilot episode. And speaking about starting a podcast, what exactly is the Chatter Platter about? Well, when I first got assigned to this project, my initial plan was to make it about music. But the more I thought about this project, there was one question that stuck in my head. And that was, will I really be able to make a whole podcast just talking about music? And the answer I came up with was no. Yeah, I could go into specifics such as what genres do I like or what instruments do I play. But ultimately, there was a limit for me. And I also thought it would eventually get boring. So I scratched that. Then I started to gather some inspiration and came across the idea of life stories. Then I thought, what if I do that? So not only could I still talk about music, I could also talk about other stuff too. And that's really how the Chatter Platter started coming together. So eventually I decided that this podcast is essentially about me talking about literally anything that's happened or has been going on in my life, along with some of my friends to come help me out and have some fun. As for future ideas, I do have some topics in mind for upcoming episodes featuring many different people. And there's really no specific order on how I'm making them, so it's really gonna be random. I also do have some thoughts for making a social media for this. Though that's a hard maybe because I may not be motivated enough to do it, or I would just be too nervous to do so. But these are all just thoughts and will not be set in stone until they're actually done. I'm looking at the time and I really don't want to make this episode too long. So to summarize this topic, The Chatter Platter is a conversational podcast featuring some people I know to talk about our lives. And as you listen to more content, I hope you find it entertaining and get a good laugh out of it. Because I can assure you that this is going to be one chaotic podcast, that's for sure. It's still a work in progress and I have many ideas for it, but this may possibly be a short series. And that's because I'm in my senior year in high school with really only about 3 months left till graduation. Though, I still hope that you listeners enjoy my content with the time I have left. Well, it seems like our plates have emptied and the content is full. So I would like to thank all of you for tuning in to the Chatter Platter. If you or someone you may know may be interested in listening to more of my content, you can tune in on Spotify, Apple, and on Google Play. And if you would like to come chatter with me or share some episode ideas, feel free to leave a comment or a review, as well as follow to feast on more random stories. I'm Carelle, here to chatter on this platter, and I'll see you next episode.